She was 29 years old. She wore a black turtleneck every single day. And for almost a decade, she convinced some of the smartest people in America that she had changed medicine forever. Her name was Elizabeth Holmes. Her company was called Theranos. And her promise was simple. One drop of blood from a single finger prick could detect any disease known to man. Investors believed her. Former secretaries of state believed her. Even seasoned doctors believed her. At its peak, her company was worth $9 billion. There was just one problem. The machine did not work. It never had. In 2003, Elizabeth Holmes dropped out of Stanford University. She was 19 years old. Using money from her parents' education trust fund, she started a small company. She first called it Real-Time Cures. Later, she renamed it Theranos. Her idea was revolutionary on paper. A tiny device, small enough to sit on a countertop, that could run hundreds of blood tests from a single drop taken by a finger prick. No needles, no fear, no waiting days for lab results. She called this device the Edison. By December of 2004, she had raised $6 million. By 2010, that number had grown past $92 million in venture capital. Then came the moment that changed everything. In July of 2011, Holmes secured a 2-hour meeting with former United States Secretary of State George Shultz. He believed her instantly. He joined her board that same year. What followed was one of the most powerful boards in corporate history. Henry Kissinger, former Defense Secretary James Mattis, former Defense Secretary William Perry, former Senator Sam Nunn. Names that gave Theranos instant, unquestionable credibility. The media fell in love with her story. Magazines called her the next Steve Jobs. She wore his exact uniform, a black turtleneck, every single day. She trained herself to speak in a deep, artificial baritone voice. By 2014, Theranos was valued at $9 billion. Elizabeth Holmes, on paper, was the youngest self-made female billionaire in the world. But behind the boardroom and the magazine covers, the Edison machine was failing, badly. It could not hold a stable temperature. It could not calibrate correctly. The results it produced were wildly inconsistent, sometimes dangerously wrong. So Theranos made a decision that would define its downfall. Instead of fixing the technology, they hid it. Behind closed doors, blood samples were secretly run on modified commercial machines built by Siemens, a completely different company. Patient samples were diluted to fit these borrowed machines. Real people were receiving real medical results based on a lie. 2 young employees noticed. Tyler Shultz, the grandson of board member George Shultz himself, and lab assistant Erica Chung, both discovered the falsified data. They tried to raise the alarm internally. They were met with fear, not action. The company was run under an atmosphere of total secrecy, enforced by Chief Operating Officer Ramesh Balwani, known to everyone as Sunny. Employees were forced to sign extreme non-disclosure agreements. They were siloed from each other. They were watched. What most people did not know was that Sunny Balwani was not just her second in command. He was her secret romantic partner. Together, they controlled the narrative, silenced dissent, and pushed the lie further into the real world, into real hospitals, into real pharmacies. In 2015, a Stanford professor named John Ioannidis began publicly asking a simple, dangerous question. Where was the actual scientific data behind Theranos' claims? Around the same time, retail partner Safeway grew suspicious. Their own internal trial of the Theranos tests had produced bizarre results. One executive was told his blood work suggested prostate cancer. He got tested again at a real laboratory. He was completely healthy. That contradiction reached a Wall Street Journal reporter named John Carreyrou. And in October of 2015, tipped off secretly by Tyler Shultz, he published the story that would end it all. The headline revealed the truth. Theranos was barely using its own machine. Almost every single test had been run in secret, on borrowed equipment, built by someone else. The illusion was over. The consequences arrived fast, and they arrived hard. In January of 2016, federal regulators warned that Theranos' laboratory in Newark, California, posed immediate danger to patient health and safety. By July of that year, regulators officially revoked the company's laboratory license. Elizabeth Holmes herself was banned from operating any medical laboratory for 2 full years. Her partnerships collapsed one after another. Safeway had already invested $350 million building clinics inside 800 of its stores. That entire rollout was abandoned. Walgreens had built 40 wellness centers around Theranos technology. They cut ties in June of 2016. They later sued Theranos for $140 million, eventually settling for less than $30 million. By September of 2018, the company that was once worth $9 billion had completely dissolved. Its final value was zero. In 2018, federal prosecutors charged both Holmes and Balwani with multiple counts of wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. They stood trial separately. In January of 2022, Elizabeth Holmes was convicted on 4 counts of fraud. She was originally sentenced to 11 years and 3 months in federal prison. Then, in March of 2026, a federal judge reduced her sentence by 1 year, down to 10 years and 3 months. The reduction came after a change in sentencing guidelines for first-time offenders and a ruling that her investors, despite losing millions, had signed waivers acknowledging they could withstand the loss. She is currently serving her sentence at a federal prison camp in Texas. Sunny Balwani faced an even harsher outcome. He was convicted on all 12 felony counts against him for defrauding both investors and patients. He was sentenced to nearly 13 years and is currently incarcerated in California. As for the whistleblowers who risked everything to expose the truth, Tyler Schultz went on to found his own health technology company. Erica Chung co-founded a non-profit organization dedicated to teaching ethics to entrepreneurs and protecting whistleblowers around the world. The scandal permanently changed how Silicon Valley operates. Investors no longer take bold claims at face value. Peer-reviewed data and independent laboratory audits are now the standard, not the exception, before a single dollar is invested in medical technology. One drop of blood convinced the world's most powerful people to believe an impossible lie. It took a handful of brave employees and one relentless journalist to finally uncover the truth. The files are open. What do you think? Was Elizabeth Holmes a true believer who lost control, or a calculated fraud from day one? Let us know in the comments. And tell us which company's collapse we should uncover next.